Welcome to Company Showcase, an advertising feature on HowStreet.com.
I'm Jim Goddard. I'm speaking with Larry Reaugh, CEO and President of American Manganese. Welcome back to the show, Larry.
Thanks, Jim.
Larry, what's new at American Manganese?
Well, we've had a lot of news over the last couple of 3 weeks, and talking about the spin out. I'm getting a lot of questions on that, and I'm running out of time to try to answer them all because I don't want to, I just don't have the time. We've got three calls today so far from battery companies that wanted to talk to us about our process, and we've got to get back to them. We're working on the spin out. We're working on getting things back with Cometco started, which I expect very soon. And time is limited, but then that's what we're here for. We put in, I usually work at least 8 hours on a weekend with emails and everything else that come in, and updating myself and keeping myself abreast of what's happening in the industry. So it's a busy time for us. Now, one of the things that I didn't mention in an interview I just completed is that I was interviewed by the Federal Bank in Canada a few years ago, back when I was writing my letter, The Fundamentals on the Economy Market, on the Commodity Market. And they came out to talk to me and asked me, it was about an hour and a half interview, asked me different questions about raising interest rates and lowering interest rates and everything like that. But I can remember what I told them at that time. I said, I think most people predict the future by charting. They chart and they say, okay, we're at this point in the chart. Things should be going up as far as interest rates go, or going down as far as interest rates go. And what I told them, I said, you can't do that anymore because there's no fundamentals left in the market. It must have been right around the time that I had stopped producing my newsletter. So, but this is true. I mean, you can't chart anything anymore and expect it to meet certain limits, breakouts and all these sorts of things that happened in the past. That's my opinion, and it's probably opposed to a lot of opinions out there. But if you don't have charts that are based on fundamentals, or an underlying chart that's based on fundamentals, you can't predict what interest rates are going to do. Is that going to hurt the market? Is that going to stop inflation? Is that going to create a fragility in the market where new businesses can't start up? So it was just an interesting interview. They asked me if I spend a lot of time talking to the local billionaire in the Lower Mainland, and I said, well, I know who he is, but I can't say that I've ever had a chat with him. And he said that our views were, pretty much the same. So that was a compliment from the Federal Bank. And I just wanted people to know that it's not just the stock markets and everything else. People do a lot of look-backs to see what's going to happen in the future. And, who could have predicted that companies that announced bankruptcies would be suddenly going up 200 or 300% almost overnight after the announcement, or the announced losses instead of earnings, and they would go up 200 or 300%. It's a different environment that we're in, and so it's not a place for the weak of heart, and but it's an opportunity here where a lot of money can be made, and people shouldn't overlook that opportunity, and then play with what they would have played in the casinos, seeing as they're all closed. So I just wanted to kind of update that last talk and talk a little bit about what we're all about. I want people to remember that we are a carbon neutral company. We had a call with a battery company this morning, and they said they're looking to be carbon neutral. So they're looking at recycling, and if you follow our recycling, you know that we're carbon neutral. You know that we have a closed circuit. You know that we get close to 100% of the material and purity back, and we're working ahead with that. And right now we're optimizing the plant, and I got my expectations are high, and people should be relating that to if this was a gold mine and you were optimizing your mill to produce 2,000 tons a day instead of 1,000 tons without a lot of expense, the stock would go through the roof. And but with the recycling, people are not factoring that in. We're talking already, we've more than doubled, 2.5 times the throughput through the pilot plant, and we hope to improve on that with the latest additions and everything. So I want people to realize that we are, that they should be looking at those fundamentals. Those are easy to follow. So am I excited? No, I'm always excited. It's, it come to work every day, and you never know what's going to happen. And, then you get a call from a battery manufacturer or a multi-billion-dollar company that's interested in moving into the recycling field, and on and on and on. So if anybody was sitting here as an investor, they'd be in a constant state of excitement. But, we can't, we have NDAs, and we can't talk about who we're talking with, because, to be very honest with you, 95% of those NDAs will never amount to anything. They're tire kickers, and they're looking for information. It's not quite as simple as just phoning me up and wanting to do a deal. We've totally de-risked the project, I believe. And, the guys with the money should be lining up at the door, and we do have some potential out there. So, just before I even forget, we've had 103,000 views on our recent Op-Ed on manganese, and so we expect that that we've got some buying off of that. We've got quarter of a million views on 4 Op-Eds that we did, and so I'm excited about that. At least there's a large amount of people, probably in the tens of thousands, that never heard of us before that now know of us. So it's an exciting period, Jim, and next week I'm hoping that we'll have a heck of a lot more to talk about.
Larry, for people who are new to American Manganese, what's the company all about?
American Manganese is a critical metal company that developed a process for treating low grades of manganese. It can't be treated anywhere else in the world. We have a specific type of ore, and we've taken that process as the cornerstone for launching a program, multi-million-dollar R&D on recycling lithium-ion batteries. And we've had some tremendous results on those, and we ended up with 2 patents. Now, American Manganese, you can find us at our site, AmericanManganeseInc.com. You can phone us at 778-574-4444. You can email me at lreaugh, L-R-E-A-U-G-H, at amymn.com. And you can find our ticker symbol on the Venture Exchange under the symbol AMY. You can find our ticker symbol in the U.S. under AMYZF, and you can find our ticker symbol in Frankfurt under the symbol 2AM.
Larry, thank you so much for the update.
Okay.
I've been speaking with Larry Reaugh, CEO and President of American Manganese. I'm Jim Goddard. Our conversation took place on August 7th.
Comments made on Company Showcase are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any manner whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Archived online at HowStreet.com. Company Showcase is a production of How Street Media Incorporated.